What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only Bear Collector, and today I am doing a game review of a very interesting game. One that that I just, as of the making of this video, I just completed not long ago. And that game is Bobo the Cat for the Steam system, or for Steam for the PC. Yes, Bobo the Cat, that little cat right there. Anyways, the game is, I made this into a little card, because of course with Steam games, they're all digital for the most part. But I made this to show how the title screen of the character will look like, Bobo the Cat. Now, the game was developed by Bobo the Cat back in January of 2023. And basically, in the game, you play as Bobo the Cat, who's basically this troublesome cat that's been terrorizing the neighborhood. No pun intended from Heathcliff. But he's been terrorizing his neighborhood, making life miserable for other pets in his home, as well as in the surroundings of his home. And so finally the pets had enough. So they eventually work together to get rid of Bobo the Cat and banish him from the home. So basically, Bobo the Cat gets banished from his home, and he's sent off to the wild, where he has to make his way home. And apparently, there's more to it than just making it home. There's something more afoot. So yes, very interesting story on the game. There's no dialogue in the game, but with the images and everything, it's kind of like you can tell what's going on. Basically, this game is actually a 2D platforming Metroidvania. And as of the making of this video, the game is free for you guys to download. So yeah. So it's a 2D Metroidvania. You go around getting new abilities for Bobo the Cat. At the beginning, you can't really do much. Then eventually you learn things kind of like to kind of crawl, kind of throw fur balls, how to jump, how to run, how to claw, like use your claws as weapons, and more to it. I don't want to spoil the game because it's a very fun game, but it's a very difficult game, in my opinion. It was for me. Now, the game takes you through like different settings. You got jungles, you got mountains, you got oceans, you got the beach, you got caves. And you go exploring to get these power-ups to be able to make it to the next portion of the game. Now, to talk about the game itself, basically, what's really hard about the game is actually the controls. It's basically, I'll put it right here. I'll take over the Oakland symbol so you guys can see Bobo the Cat. Basically is the controls. I'll be honest with you. The game, when I know I showed you guys in my May haul that I bought the Steam Deck. I bought it very early in May. So, and of course, and I showed that I was playing, that I got this game early on too. I was basically playing the game nonstop. Well, not nonstop, but continuously until recently. Basically, I put in about 50 hours of gameplay. I kid you not. And it took me, like about a month and a half to complete, almost 2 months. But one of the major obstacles of the games were two things. One, the controls. They will kill you. Now, if you're playing it in a regular PC keyboard, bless your heart, because if you're able to play really good, the controls are very difficult at some parts of the game where you have to maneuver and do these little crazy jumps and run and everything. Even with the Steam Deck, I was not able to perform some actions, which took me a really long time to complete. The other thing is that it is a long game, but you'll be lost not knowing what to do next. And it's a typical thing with Metroidvanias, but in certain Metroidvanias, you kind of get a little bit of a hint. With this one, there were some hints, but you get a map. Don't get me wrong. You get a map display where it shows you where certain items are located. you know, where you know certain things are located. So it's not that the map is really good. However, at the end of the day, there was a part at the end where I got really lost and not know what to do. And that was very, very difficult, and that's where it took me a long time. Another thing is that there's certain areas of the game at the beginning you can't warp. Later down the line, you'll be able to warp to different areas. And I had this one specific spot where it was easy for me to warp and get my health, because you'll be knocked out. Like at first you'll start with one life, and if you hit that life and you haven't saved, the game is over. So yeah, it's one of those things that you have to find like life containers to be able to make your meter bigger, and each hit takes away mostly one of your containers, which suck. The other thing is the fur balls. Once you get you eat these hamburgers and you're able to gain more fur balls to throw. Those become very necessary at the end of the game. I won't spoil it, but try your best to collect as many hamburgers as you can, as well as get your, I think there's like 9 lives, like 9 containers. Each of them you split in 5, so you have to find 5 pieces to earn a container. So I would suggest to find them as best as you can, because all of that you're gonna need it at the end, by the end of the game. I kid you not. The other thing is that aside from those 2 things, the game is pretty good. It's just the controls that kept me from reaching other places, and it made it really difficult, to be honest. But other than that, this is a very, very fun game. One that I highly recommend, and one that, since it's free, it's a full game. It's amazing how this game is free, and they're not charging you for it, and it's great. So great ending. The ending was great. I'm not gonna spoil it. There's not the unfortunate thing that as of the making of this video, there's not a lot of hints out there to kind of like help you out, so that makes it difficult. There is a way on how to defeat certain bosses. Now, the game has several bosses. At the beginning, the bosses are really difficult, but then for the most part, it's learning the pattern of the bosses, and you'll be able to defeat them. I only encountered about like 3 bosses that were difficult out of what, like, I would say there's like 8 bosses in the game. Something like that, but for the most part, they weren't that hard to defeat once you learn the pattern, so it's okay, but you just have to keep practicing. Luckily, you'll be able to save near a boss battle, so, and you're able to save with your full life if you have it, and your 4 balls and whatnot. So strongly recommend you guys save and do that. I'm trying to give you guys more hints to the game. But the cool thing is that the video that I made is kind of like a way to get you through the very first part of the game. And learn an ability. So yeah, it's just not a long gameplay, but it at least takes you to how you can get certain things. Another thing is to collect key cards. Yes, like some doors that open up with some floppy disk cards. Collect as many as you can, because you're gonna need to later in the game. So that's the best thing I can tell you without spoiling it. So anyways, great game. Highly suggested. If you're a Metroidvania fan, definitely you guys will appreciate this game. It's a very fun game. But you know, I would also strongly suggest if you have a game controller, the game is fully functional on your Steam Deck, because there's games that may be not functional. This one's fully functional. And if you have a controller, it'll be great to play it. Please play with a controller, because it gets trickier. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy the gameplay footage of the game, and I hope that this video is used out there for this game, because it seems like a very, I don't think there's a lot of information out there of the game. Sorry, my camera keeps focusing in and out. So yeah, strongly suggested, and it's free again. You know, very fun game. Anyways, this has been Eric, the one and only Bear Collector. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Peace out.